Patriots in December after being released by the Steelers, and he made a big play in the fourth quarter of Sunday's win over the Jaguars. USA Today's Jarrett Bell wrote that the Steelers look, quote, rather dense now in letting Harrison go. Bell adds that it seems unthinkable that Pittsburgh did not play Harrison during the second half of the season. We're joined once again by Eric Dickerson, but Skip, let me start with you.
Yep.
Do you blame Mike Tomlin for getting rid of Harrison?
I do. Very early this morning, I read Jarrett Bell's piece on the USA Today website. And for those who don't know Jarrett, he's a longtime friend of mine, longtime African-American columnist for USA Today, covering pro football. He's been out front on the protest movement as a reporter and a commentator. He's been out front and all over the Raiders for violating the Rooney Rule, and I have a lot of respect for Jarrett Bell, and my jaw dropped when he laid out this case basically against Mike Tomlin for underutilizing James Harrison, for mistreating James Harrison, and for finally cutting James Harrison even before the season was over. And did he ever make a strong case? Because Jarrett's first point was that he was there watching the game Week 6 at Kansas City. Chiefs had a chance to win with a last-minute TD drive, but on 3rd and 10, James Harrison, who played only 15 snaps that day, sacked Alex Smith for an 8-yard loss that virtually sealed the victory, says Jarrett Bell. So he says it seemed unconscionable that Pittsburgh didn't put Harrison in a rotation that included young linebackers T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree, and that it was embarrassing for Harrison to show up for a game and find his locker empty, unaware that he'd been made inactive for that game. This is a stalwart, man. You can certainly appreciate being from Pittsburgh. But is he not a highly respected and decorated Pittsburgh Steeler?
Skip, he's a defensive player. He won Defensive Player of the Year. We know what they think of their defensive players. Joe Green, Jack Lambert, Rod Woodson, Mel Blount.
He has a legacy there.
So he finally gives in and cuts this man after James Harrison requested, just let me out. Don't treat me like this. Just let me go. And, of course, Bill Belichick said, thank you very much. I'll take you. And brings him in. And Tom Brady, obviously, as he usually is to new players, he put his arm around him. You belong here. And you and I both said, all you need is one play. And I saw a couple of plays on Sunday against Jacksonville, a couple of plays in the fourth quarter.
Skip, he got there the week of their last game of the season. They played the Jets. He played 30 snaps and got 2 sacks. He's played 89 defensive snaps in 3 games, 40 snaps in 5 games with the Steelers. Now, James Harrison was a free agent. He's re-signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers because they told him they would continually use him in the role that he was in.
That's what he said.
Now, he was a free agent. We know what he thinks about Dick LeBeau. He says, I'm not James Harrison without Dick LeBeau. Dick LeBeau is defensive coordinator in Tennessee. I believe he would have joined Dick LeBeau in Tennessee. But the Steelers, he wanted to be at the Steelers. Hey, we got a chance to win here. James, if you know anything about him, if you follow him on social media, he's not a participation guy. Remember, he made his sons take their trophies back.
He did.
Because they didn't win them. They got them for participation.
Yeah.
So James Harrison said, look, yeah, we're winning, but I'm not contributing. I want to contribute. And if you're not going to let me contribute here, just release me. Now, I don't like how he handled it. If it's true, Skip, that he was showing up late to meetings, he was sleeping in meetings, I don't agree with that.
But it sounds like they started it and he was finished.
Right.
But go ahead.
But here's the thing, Skip. The Pittsburgh things of value, you don't discard things of value. The Steelers said James Harris offers no value to us. Belichick said, yeah, he does. Maybe not 5 plays a game, but I just need him for one. One play, make one play that can change the outcome of the game. It's a big difference, Skip, trying to pick up 2nd and 18, 3rd and 18, as opposed to 2nd and 10, 2nd and 3rd and 8.
Well, you know, I think that it's hard when you play for an organization for as long as James Harrison played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think it's almost a slap in his face, you know, the way Tomlin did it. I mean, no matter if you Steelers, Bengals, whoever, you get drafted and play for that organization, you have a loyalty to that organization. You feel like they're me, they're part of me. And I know he's hurt, even though he said, you know, release me. He probably didn't think they'd release him. One thing, look, Father Time doesn't lose a game. You know, he gets us all. It's just it's a fact. I mean, he's 39 years old. I don't think it's any other 39-year-old defensive players in the National Football League right now. I think, and then you got Tom Brady.
Well, so, Terrence Newman, I think. Terrence Newman.
But he is the oldest.
But he's the oldest. Yeah.
So, I mean, when you go to an organization, you know, leave the Pittsburgh Steelers and go to be the enemy, almost
Right.
go to the enemy. You know, Bill Belichick, like, yeah, thank you. And you know, that one play, he had some good plays in that
Yeah,
game, but that one play was a big play. And all of a sudden, it's highlighted on that play. Look, this is what you lost. This is what you let get away. So
he played 30 snaps. He played, what, 36, 37 snaps on Sunday. They put him in for 30 snaps when he first arrived. So the Steelers, they couldn't find a role for him. And he goes to Coach Belichick, and Coach Belichick finds a role for him.
right away.
And that's what you want, Skip. You just
And
want to
by
be
the way,
appreciated.
my eye test on just watching TV, if you didn't tell me he was 39,
You wouldn't know.
whew,
He got
Hey.
fresh legs.
he's flying off the edge. And then one was just a flat-out bull rush where you just overpowered the left tackle.
He's a leverage rusher, and that's the thing, Skip. If you try to use him, say, maybe the Steelers like, well, we can't use you 40 plays. But I believe for 10 or 15 plays, he could have given the Steelers the value that he's giving the Patriots. But, Skip, they needed that third tackle. I think Gilbert was coming back off injury.
Mm-hmm.
They needed that spot. And James is like, well, James is not playing. But James is like, why am I going to say, look, nobody claimed him. So he went unclaimed, so which meant he was a total free agent. So now anybody can claim him because they don't have to pay his contract. Patriots like, all we got to play is 1 week, game 17 game check, and then you're going to get playoff money. What do we have to lose?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And to me, again, maybe Belichick will pat him on the head after they win the Super Bowl and send him on home.
Yeah.
But to me, that guy I watched Sunday, I'm not going to be shocked if he's not back next year with the Patriots.
James won't be disappointed. I can go on home with a Super Bowl ring. And the big old die, because the Patriots ring, they getting so big now, I mean, you're going to need 2 fingers. Because they have those, so it's going to have 6 Lombardi.
Dickerson is a big man.
Yeah, so
He's a big man.
I might go play with the Patriots. I might go get a coach.
But
Coach
you know,
Belichick.
you know these teams now, they want young. You know,
They do.
You think of the Steelers, you know, they got, you know, T.J. Watts. You know, they got
Yeah,
Ryan
I
Bud
got
when
it.
he was healthy. You know,
Bud Dupree.
Bud Dupree. I mean, they want young guys. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense hasn't been that Pittsburgh Steelers defense in a while. Because when I think of the Steelers, I'm thinking of a team that will hit you, rough house you.
Yeah. But they haven't been that. You're right. They haven't been that. Well, the back end haven't been that since they had Troy Polamalu and Ryan Clark. So they're not that. They still can get, because they led the league in sack. They can still, but you know that's inflated because they played 2 bad offensive lines the last 2 weeks of the season. Got 13 sacks. Playing the Houston Texans, playing the Cleveland Browns. So that's a little inflated because the previous 3 games they only had 5 sacks in those games. But Skip, the man wanted to be a part of something. And people think, well, man, I'll just be sitting on the bench, you know, going for the soup. No, that's not how you're wired. James Harrison didn't become James Harrison being wired like, oh, I'm cool. The dude got cut 3 times. And so he had Pittsburgh cut him, Baltimore cut him, Pittsburgh brought him back, cut him, and brought him back again. So he's like, okay, they believed in me. He won a Defensive Player of the Year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's because they gave him the chance. They believe, even though they cut him twice, Skip, they still say, well, you know what, we believe in you, bro.
And Jarrett Bell summed it up by saying at 5:45 a.m. the day after the Jacksonville win, James Harrison was already in the weight room, which is Brady-esque to me.
Yeah.
That's word.
Right?
This whole thing is very un-Steeler-like to
it
handle
is.
that.
I mean, because
handle it that way.
they usually take care of their
But
players.
especially someone who's been there as long.
I mean,
as
they might
he's
not
been.
re-sign you, but they don't normally cut players during the season.
And-
Especially
But even
not-
if you do, just don't handle it in that way.
Don't show up for a game
Not
and your
him.
locker's empty.
Right.
and you're
not,
not-
James
Come
Harrison,
on.
you got to tell him, James, you're not going to be up
I mean,
there.
Exactly. You're not gonna be
it is a
playing this.
business, but we all know that there are feelings, and especially when you've been. with
James,
an
go get that
organization
ring. That's the only way to replay him, James. You get that ring.
Who you picking? I'm asking you again.
He can't pick that. We have
I know where he's leaning. I know where his heart is.
I might
His
get
head
that.
is telling him
I
no.
might get me a James Harrison jersey.
Eric, thanks for joining
Or
us.
Gronk.
Did Paul George deserve to be an all-star? We'll discuss that next.